accept mistakes, embrace mistakes, because everybody does mistakes in life. The best coaches are those push, who really push the players to achieve great heights. It's very important you as a coach to design good sessions. It has to be interesting. It has to relate to what your philosophy is.
Welcome, Captains of Armband, to yet another episode of Short Corners podcast, where we bring you interviews with football players, coaches, managers, assistant coaches, backroom staff, and everyone related with the world of football. And we bring you lots of interesting topics, tactical nuances, and different aspects to the game we all love to play, watch, and analyze as much as possible. So, if you like our content, if you want more content like this, please do like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. So today we have with us today Mr. Naushad Moosa, who is currently the assistant coach of Bengaluru FC, and we would like to talk a lot about football and obviously the recent developments regarding Bengaluru FC and his entire journey as a player, as a manager, and how his journey has been in the world of football. So, Mr. Moosa, how have you been?
I'm good, thank you, and thanks for having me here.
We're so glad to have you, Mr. Moosa. So, should we dive straight into the question? Anything on the top of your mind that you wanted to share first?
Nothing. We're just busy preparing for the Super Cup now after the ISL, so just busy with that,
Amazing.
So it's been long, this podcast. We wanted to do it, I think, before the Duran Cup, and
Yeah.
some technical problem, and we couldn't do it. And after such a long gap, we are getting to do it. So I'm happy about it.
Awesome. Yeah, we're happy to have you here, Mr. Musa. So I'm sure the viewers want to know about obviously what happened recently in the ISL, the fantastic journey that Bengaluru FC had. It's almost a dream run that Bengaluru FC had in the ISL. So we'll get to that, viewers. So do stick around. But let's start with the start of your career as a player, and then we'll go into the managerial side, and of course we'll definitely get to the recent events that everybody would be eager to hear. So let's dive into the first question. So in the initial days of your youth career, so I think you started your third division. You started in a third division club before joining Air India in 1992, the year that I was also born, coincidentally. So back
Uh,
then, so back then you used to play as a striker. But while participating in a tournament, you decided to play as a stopper, and you delivered three show-stopping performances, let's say, as three man of the match performances, and that changed the trajectory of your entire career. So, how do you think that this change in position impacted your approach towards the game, and especially at such a young age?
See, in Mumbai, there was only two clubs. One was Air India, the other one was Mahindra, and this was the only two options I had. And during those years, we didn't have enough academies. There was only one Tata Football Academy,
Hmm.
and to get into this team was not easy. You know, and I was in my third year, uh, and then I got into Air India, and I was a striker, but somehow I couldn't handle the pressure. I was scared. I couldn't perform. I really did nothing out there. And, I could miss the easiest of chances, making me look like some mediocre player.
Hmm.
But when and if Bimal Ghosh is listening to this interview, uh, you know, I might have had the longest trials. I gave trials for 2 months, and you can imagine how it would have been for me. 2 months every day under pressure, whether I'll get selected, because this was the opportunity I was always looking for. You know, and then I got into the team, and things didn't work out the way I wanted it to be. And then, like, and I got the message that I would be, I'll be out of the team. I'm not. They're not going to renew my contract, and that's when things changed. When I went for a tournament in Bilai, and that changed the uh, whole dimension of my career. You can see that just before going to this Bilai tournament, we had this under 19 nationals where Mr. Harshad Hussain was the coach, and he was looking for some tall defenders. And that's when he didn't find anybody, and he asked me to play as a defender. I was not happy about it, but I wanted to get into the state team, and that was also a big thing during those days to get into the state team. And I didn't want to lose that opportunity, so he asked me to play there, and I played. But somehow that nationals helped me groom myself to understand the position. It helped me towards the end of the season where I got to play as a defender, and from that time I never looked back. In 1 year's time, I got into the national team and offers from all the big clubs. Just 1 year. So that's how things change.
How would you describe that the journey was like different? You had to adapt from playing up front to playing, just in front of your own goal. So how was the challenge different, and how did you have to adapt to like this drastic change in position? It's not like moving from midfield to defense. It's like moving from forward to defense, right?
See, it's not much different. Yeah. As when you play as a striker, you're just chasing the ball. When you play as a defender, you know how to. You're supposed to defend the striker, not allow them to. So you play as a striker, and I'm trying to understand the psychology of the defender,
That's
right?
right.
So when I play as a defender, I'm trying to think how the striker is going to move. So before he can make his movement, I'm there. So that thing really helped me because I could understand what the striker is thinking now. So just I could anticipate, and that helped me. I
Mhm.
even tell my players when I got into coaching now. So I tell my players, don't worry about what position you're playing. So now what I do is I see that my players are playing all positions because it's very important. Again, the personal experience, which helped me from being a striker to a defender and change my life. So the same way, when you play different position, you understand what is needed to be a wing back, a winger, a striker, a central defender, or a central midfielder. So end of the day, what you want to do is you want to play football, and when you enjoy doing that, you don't worry about what position you're playing.
So that's great to know. I think many of our viewers who would be watching. So the message is that if you don't find success in one position, don't give up. I think that's only the start. You can definitely find success in a lot of different ways. If
Exactly.
exactly, if you have the dedication and you have the work ethic. So great. So now moving on a few years. So as a senior footballer, you went on to represent clubs like East Bengal, Mahindra United, and Mohammedan. Um, but soon after retiring as a player, you did not take up any job. I mean, I think you refused to settle down as well. So even in one of your previous interviews, you said that once the fear of failure is out of your mind, I think you are successful in your life. So would you advise our current veteran footballers to do the same, or do you think it's can be different in certain situations?
See, it all depends on individual. Like I don't think I can advise the other coaches or players to choose certain way of leading a life because every individual has different situations to handle. Some have they might have many issues. You don't know what problem or what thing they are going in their life. So with me, uh, yes, I didn't have enough support from my house. My dad always wanted me to take up those days. It was always a government job, railways, banks, customs. So, but somewhere I had that belief in myself that I can do something. It's very important that you have to take risk in life to achieve. Otherwise, you're not reaching anywhere. So, so when you are always working hard towards achieving something, you don't really fear about what's going to happen. You just move towards your goal. You just keep working hard and reach there.
Was there any specific reason that you decided not to like take up the offers that you were getting, or were you looking for a specific opportunity?
Of course, those days I had seen many of my colleagues playing, many of my friends taking up jobs in railways, banks in Mumbai. So after a few years, I see them getting relaxed. It's as if they have a security now. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I see them enjoying life, not focused. So that's when I decided, no, I'm not going to do this. What I want to do is play for all the big clubs, play for my country. So I just focused on that, and then that's it.
fantastic.
Because that's very important, because once you relax, that's it. That's the end of. You just don't focus then.
Yep.
That's what I feel. That's every individual is different. There are few players who took up job, but still they achieved what they wanted to.
Yeah,
There are few players, but somewhere I felt I should not fall into the other side, like the other players who got relaxed. So
exactly.
I had that fear.
Fantastic.
So I didn't take up any job or anything.
The main thing is to make it not feel relaxed, because that's I personally also feel that's where we kind of stop growing if we just feel comfortable in what where the situation is. So
Exactly.
that makes absolute sense. So now, before we dive into the crux of the matter that we all are, I'm sure all the viewers are waiting to hear, I would just like to say, please do like and share this video, because we're going to talk about a lot of different aspects with our esteemed guest today. And so please do subscribe to our channel and for more such content. So please do stay tuned. We'll bring you many such fantastic videos and in-depth discussions about different aspects of the beautiful game. So your journey with Bengaluru FC as their first team assistant coach started in 2017. And since then, you have worked with Albert Roca, Carles Quadrat, Marco Pezzauli, and now with Simon Grayson. How did your role as an assistant coach vary under each of these head coaches, and how would you say they have impacted your career in one way or the other?
See, when you talk about Albert Roca and Carlos, they both were together. So the approach, the principle, everything was same. Marco was a bit different, and then Simon is another personality who's a good man manager. You know, so you know Carlos and Roca, they come from Spain, so the Spanish flavor was there, more ball possession, and then Marco was a mix of both, high press and build up. And then when you come to Simon, again, his approach is totally different. So of course, uh, you learn everything. From Carlos, you can learn about all the set pieces and all Roca with the ball position, and then Marco, his approach, his aggressiveness towards the game, the way high press and all. And then with Simon again, high intensity, and in training and in the match, you can see the way we were in the first half of the season,
Mhm.
and second half of the season was totally different.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that's how the approach was totally different. With Simon, what I learned was, never give up attitude, because he never stopped believing, never. You know, I remember we were playing on the 30th of December against Northeast United in Guwahati. Uh, we were 1-0 up, 1 all, and towards the end, Alan scored a goal and it was 2-1. So, and I still remember his words, he just, after the game, he just said one thing: from here, we are not losing a single game. And after that, we didn't lose a single game.
Fantastic.
You know, the belief what you know, he had, and how you transfer it to your players. That's what something a coach has to
Exactly.
learn. You know, so that's something very positive about him. He never gave up. He was never like say like it normal happens in a coach manager's life. What happens is that, like the way our team was going, some 10 games we lost, 10 games. The result, we were in eighth position. There are a lot of pressure of being sacked, but I never saw him going down. I never saw him, being scared or any kind of pressure. He was never under pressure. That's he had some belief in himself. The way he is training, the way he approached the training sessions, the way he approached the game was totally different. He never gave up. He never gave up,
Brilliant.
and you can see the result.
Exactly. So thank you for segueing so well into this next
Yeah,
topic
yeah,
that we are about to talk about. So Bengaluru have said one of the most remarkable turnarounds ever in the history of ISL. They were
exactly,
34 points from 20 games, and from there you went all the way to the finals. So what would be you
exactly.
say? Yeah. So what
Yeah,
would be the
yeah.
key factors that you would say that contributed to this? I know you said self-belief and the way that the players never gave up was one. But if you had to break this down as what contributed to this remarkable turnaround, what would you say?
See, before I could answer the question what you're
Uh-huh.
asking me, there is, as I said, you learn from everyone, from Carlos,
Exactly.
Roca, Marco, even Simon. Now I am with him. You know, uh, I remember 2020 season where I was given the opportunity to 2021 when Carlos was sacked and I got the opportunity 10 games. So now when I see this turnaround,
Uh-huh.
you know, it helps me think about what wrong I did then
Yeah.
for those 10 games. What I could have done. So a coach's life is such, you learn every single minute, you learn something or the other. You know. And then to the question what you asked just now, uh, as I said, he never gave up. Uh, say we lose a game, we are there next day, we are there in the ground, and he's never negative. His approach is never negative. He's always like he's always whenever he is communicating with the players individually, he will talk to the players. You know, we have an analyst. We'll show individual players what went wrong, what is going on. But as a team, when we are talking, it's always positive. And players in the beginning, it took some time because we were playing with three defenders and five midfielders and two up front. So it was both 3-5-2. But when we are defending, it becomes
5-3.
5-3 or 5-4. So it took some time for the players to adopt. And once we got it, that's what it's important. You know, kept losing, but he never gave up on his principles, his philosophy of playing football. He stuck to it and he went with the same approach every game. And you can see the result. In the beginning, it was like people are, the crowd, everyone is. They will relate to Bangalore FC when Roca or Carlos was playing more ball position,
Yeah.
but every individual is different. Every coach approach is different. So it takes time. Before they had Ashley, then came Carlos and Roca. The Spanish flavor came in. Things started changing. So the player, it takes time for to adopt, and it happened.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it was truly like football always helps us get these remarkable comeback stories. So in all aspects of
Yeah.
football, it's all about comeback and never giving up, like you said. And yeah, it was just brilliant to see. So once that journey was done, let's say at least one part of the journey was done to get to the finals. So now we are going to talk about your when you're approaching the finals. So how did you approach the final from a tactical perspective? I know we probably can't divulge all the secrets that goes on in the back room. We won't ask you to do that, but in general, so how did the players approach it? How did you and everyone involved with the tactical side approach that game?
Somewhere, once we started winning, from that game against Northeast
Hmm.
to the other games. So in the dressing room, the good thing about the coach again, he gives the opportunity to the players to talk more. How they want to play, how they want to approach the game. So every time I could hear the players taking, we go with the same mentality, we go with the same approach, you know, we don't change anything. So till the finals, the approach was same, the way we want to play, you know. So we had some good leaders in the team like Sandesh, Gurpreet, Sunil, Roy. So this were the players who made a lot of difference. You know, we have a lot of youngsters. So the way they were pushing them each and every time. So that was something really good, which really helped the team. And it was always, there was no moment where, there was like Roy Krishna sitting there or say Shiv Shakti is a junior. He's always with Shiv Shakti, always advising him what has to be done. Don't worry about anything. From the Duran Cup time, he keeps talking to him. That makes a lot of difference. The players taking the responsibility, and and that works. Again, learning moment for me as a
Exactly.
coach. Yeah,
Of course, it was great to see this was going to be a very high voltage game. We all knew that it was going to be the final of the ISL. There were expectations. Entire Kolkata, is expecting ATK Mohun Bagan to do that, and you have
always.
all the Bangalore fans to
Yeah, yeah.
cheering on Bengaluru FC to the final. So once the match started, now let's say we are there. The crowd is there, the scene is set, the match starts, and you go till halftime. So how did you approach the halftime team talk, and how did you get the players up for the next half? That okay, this is what we are doing right, this is what we are doing wrong. And did the approach change somewhere, or did something change? How was it at
Of
halftime?
course, if you see, we were down 1-0. Yeah,
Hmm.
and towards the 46th minute,
Hmm.
we got a penalty
Yeah.
and we got the equalizer, and that changed the whole dynamic of the game. The confidence the player got. The dressing room was different. Everyone was just buzzing. Everyone wanted to win this game now. You
Yeah.
know, because see that fear is always there. What is going to be the result? Yeah,
Exactly.
every individual has it. Yeah, how I'm going to perform, how the team is going to perform. But once we got that goal, and everything changed. So if you see the second half, we were more on them. First half, I felt ATK was a bit better in terms of ball position, the way they were attacking, the approach was good. But the second half was more aggressive from the Bangalore FC side. It's just that the players believed in themselves. Every individual, even the players sitting outside, they were like always helping the players inside. They are warming up there, but still I could hear them, giving them instruction, what is happening, what should be done. So that's something you can say overall a team. That's what Simon did, made a team. Yeah,
Brilliant. That's just so heartening to hear. So, obviously, all of us who watched the match, it was really exhilarating. It was full of ups and downs. At one time, it felt like, of course, it Mohun Bagan were in the ascendancy. At other times, it was Bengaluru FC were in the ascendancy. At the final result of the match, so it was penalty shootouts, and it all went there. It went all the way. I'm sure the supporters didn't complain. They got to see a full-fledged match with every twist and turn. So how were you guys? How were the players thinking? Were they exhausted, or were they actually happy that they got there? And of course, after the match, how was the feeling? Just want to know, what was the feeling in the entire dressing room and among the players?
of course, it was not a happy situation in the
Yeah.
dressing room, because the way we reached there,
Yep.
you know, we really wanted to win this because it would have been a great, you can see, what you can say is a cherry on top.
Yep. Cherry on top of the
Yeah,
cake. Yep.
exactly. So it would have been a great story. As you said in the beginning, like it was something we have not seen in so many years.
Absolutely.
Being at the bottom of the table and then changing everything for last 10 games, 10, 11 games. You
Unbelievable.
know. So, of course, all the players were not so happy, but again, uh, all were there for each other. The family were there, everyone. So it was just, and the best thing was we had dinner, and even the Mohun Bagan was there.
Oh
Mohun
wow.
Bagan, the whole team was there.
Wow.
So it was something good. Yeah, because what our owner did was something really nice. He invited the Mount Bagan team to have dinner with us, and again, end of the day, it's all, we are all humans. You know,
Absolutely.
we be together, we share things. So it was something nice, which which I felt. It was really nice to see both the team having dinner together. But the best part was again Mount Bagan camp was, they were also very sensitive. Not exactly sensitive. You can say is they behave really mature to come there for dinner, have the dinner, and just walk away. You know,
Wow, that's
so
fantastic.
they showed real respect to the opponent. So that's something a sports teaches you.
That's great to hear. So I'm sure, of course, all our viewers, I hope you're enjoying this discussion. And if you like our content, please do like and share this video. I'm sure all of your friends and everyone who you talk football with would love to watch this video. We got some exclusive behind the scene discussions as well. So please do like and share this video. And of course, if you like our content, please do subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for further such content on many, many topics covering the world of football. So please do stay tuned. Okay, so now we are going to focus a bit on your coaching philosophy and your journey as a coach and how you approach the game of football as from a coaching perspective. So um, so you have like focused a lot on youth development in your coaching career. You started your career in 2008 when you joined Mumbai FC as their youth head coach. So initially you focused a lot on the development of the young players, but sometimes the results also suffered. But you went on to grind out results, which eventually went on to win the Super Division and finish as a runners-up in the Under 18 league. So how did your approach, like how did you change your approach towards how you were coaching the young players, and also regarding you coaching young players, did you look at it differently, or what are the aspects that you took out of it when working with these young players? So just would like to.
You know, you when you start your career, whether it's when you're playing, my playing days was one way of doing things, and then when you got into coaching, every single day you're learning. You know. So before joining Mumbai FC, I was 4 years. I worked in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh and all. So there, the approach was totally different. It was all basic things. And then when I joined Mumbai FC, it was different. So I was told to, I was asked not to worry about the result part. Just let's develop the players. But yes, of course, when you're investing money, and since it was my first year into the professional, because Mumbai FC, those days were playing the I League, and they wanted to start a B team. So of course they are putting in money and they wanted result. Somewhere I was not able to do that for the first year, and then when the pressure came in to deliver, you know, that's when I had to change the way I was looking at the game. The approach towards the game. It was like when I'm coaching the players, it's more of the basics I'm giving them. So then I started getting into the game, getting involved into the game, and then giving them instruction what exactly has to be done. you know somewhere I got results, but somewhere I felt I could have done much better in the sense, you know as years goes by, when after Mumbai FC I joined Pune FC. That's when from Ranjan Chaudhary I got to learn how I can mix both, right? uh, the development part and the winning mentality. How to get the winning mentality. It's not only about winning. Winning mentality is not only about winning games. It's the way you approach the game, right? So yes, with Mumbai FC I got the result. I got very good result, but somewhere I felt I didn't do justice to my job. I could have done much better. uh, so as a coach, it's a big responsibility when you're coaching youngsters.
Yep.
Somewhere those set of players. From that, we had only Jayesh Rane, Rahul BK. These are the two players I remember who's playing now, professional. Yeah. So that means I had 24 players, and I was not successful in molding the 22 players. Right. So that's when I have to analyze myself. I have to be more critical about myself. How to approach the game now. And then that's when Pune FC happened. And then again, I was doing somewhere I was going wrong. Then I had players like Ashik, Subhashish Bose, Yasser, Sebastian, Sahil Panwar. You know, uh, there were many players who are into the ISL now. You know, so somewhere when I was being critical, that really helped me to mold this player into what they are today. You know, so I got the balance of the development, the basic part, and then the winning mentality. You
Fantastic.
know, so so as a coach, you have to learn, you have to accept things where you're going wrong. You just don't be stubborn. No, this is the way I want to do. Because with Ashik, see, Ashik is a player who loves to run with the ball, and it's my philosophy. I love a lot of passes. Yeah, and I was forcing him to do that, and somewhere I was really not helping him be a better player because that's not the way he wants to play. His style is not that. So that's when I did one FIFA course. That's when I got to learn the modern trends, how to approach the game, and how to approach individual players. So that's when I allowed Ashik to play the way he's playing now. Just to so as an individual, you need to teach the core players how to uh, demonstrate what you got, your strong points, and then how to manage the philosophy of the team.
Yep.
That's very important. So that really helped, and I got results.
Yep. As we can
So I
all see.
got results with Pune FC. I got results with Bengaluru FC. So that's really helping me. And every day I'm getting to learn new things every day.
On that front, I think one person that has a few people, and especially one person that has immensely contributed to your development as a player as well as a coach is that one of your former coaches, Mr. Bimal Ghosh. He helped you develop a lot as a young footballer, and his aggressive nature it contributed immensely behind your growth as a player. And you also played under Harish Rao, who was humble and very calm-headed on the pitch. So, how would you say that these people have influenced you as a player, as a coach, and most importantly, as a human being?
Till 2000, till 2000, 2000, 2001, till 2000 and 2001. Uh, I had no idea what I'm going to do after my playing career.
Yeah.
You know, so that's when once Suvarna, he was the match commissioner. So we had got him to make us understand the laws of the game.
Uh,
So that's when he had asked, out of all you players here, who want to be a coach? So I was the only one who raised my hand. You know, and that was the day when I started reading the coaches. Otherwise, I was just playing. I was not trying to understand what Bimal Ghosh was doing or what Mr. Harish Rao was doing. I was just playing. You know, that day I started reading the coaches now. Uh, uh, how they coach, how they take the sessions. What all communication is going on. And then then came Bimal Ghosh. His approach is totally different. He's more political when he's coaching. Yeah, you have to be that.
Without a doubt.
As a
Yeah.
coach, it's very important. Yeah. So and then and a team like Air India, which don't have a big budget, so It was something you learn from him, how he managed the budget. So that helped me in Mumbai FC when I was given the team, the under 18 team, and then I was given a certain lump sum amount. This is the monthly amount you will get, Musa, and you have to manage this amount. We'll give you the money, and you see what amount you want to give it to the players. So that really helped me when I started thinking about how he used to manage all those things. And then with Harish Rao, he was, as you said, he's more humble and very calm. He doesn't have that aggressive nature, but he got the work done from the players. Like what I see in Simon now.
Fantastic.
So yeah, so that all those things really helped. Then we had I was under Shabir Ali. Shabir Ali sir was there, Hakim sir was there, Naeem sir was there. All different personalities. PK Da was there, and then I had Danny Macklin from Scotland, and then Akramo. Akramo was more aggressive side in the national team. And Churchill brothers, I had Danny Macklin, who was more calm and who taught me, you can enjoy and you can still play.
Great. That's all.
So yeah, so all these people really helped me mold myself to what I am today.
So, like coming to your experience as a coach now, like after all the learnings that you had. So, as the head coach of Bengaluru of the reserve side, you are admittedly very aggressive and demanding from your players. In one of your previous podcasts, you also said that if you want to join BFC, you have to be mentally strong. You have been quite successful with this approach as Bengaluru, and you have recently won the Reliance Foundation Development League as well. So, how do you think the nature of the head coach it translates into the team on the football field? This approach and how the atmosphere is in the dressing room.
Again, I will bring in Mr. Ranjan Chaudhary here,
Mhm.
because he was the one who once told me, "Jaisa baap waisa beta," you know,
Ah, very true.
like father, like son.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you see a team playing, you can see that coach personality on the team. You know, if if I'm not aggressive, my team is not aggressive. My approach is not aggressive, my team is not going to be aggressive. And then when I say it's it's not easy getting into BFC because because the standard, the bar we have raised is so high. Like we are very choosy about players, you know. So it's not only about being a good player. Yes, of course we want talented players. Just imagine a good talented player, but with no strong mentality. You know that will not help you. Of course, you need to have that technical ability, but with that, if you have that strong mentality, that will take you to another level. According to my experience, it's very important. It's very important for you to have that strong mentality because I always tell my reserve team boys, it's not easy to be in the senior team. The pressure you have to handle because there are a lot of foreigners, high quality foreigners, and then you have those senior players, and you're playing with Sunil Chetri and Gurpreet, and the pressure is really high. And if I don't inculcate all this pressure in that age group, it's not going to help them in the senior team. And when they come in, they realize, they understand what I used to tell them. And we have to change that mindset now. Like the under 18, we are still young. We are still. If you see Europe, the under 18s, 18 years, 19 years, they are playing the senior teams. So why we are still sticking to that, mentality that abhi bacha hai? No
Yeah.
bacha. Yeah. So we want our 18s and 19s and 16s to be there in the senior team. If not in the team, at least be there competing with the seniors. So we need to bring that mentality if we want to change the approach towards reaching to being the best teams in Asia. First, let's think about Asia, then we'll talk about the world,
Without a doubt.
right? Because it will take another 15, 20 years, 10, 15 years to be the best in Asia. The way we are going now, of course, it's really going to help, you know. And if you ask me, according to my experience,
Mhm.
the best coaches are those who push. who really push the players to achieve great heights, great heights, and reach the potential. And always coach who push you to achieve more. It's very important. It's very important that I don't make them a player who's satisfied with small things. You know, it's always my players will always complain. At least smile now. We won, coach. Yeah, with the B team. With the senior team, the approach is totally different. When you're coaching the senior team, the approach is totally different, and when you're coaching the reserve team, it's totally different. It's always I always tell them, don't be satisfied, don't be happy with what you achieve. Look for more. Always look for more.
We have almost come to the end of the podcast, but we have one question without which we can't even think of ending is that you have had 14 years of a coaching career. You have worked with so many different setups, youth setups, senior team setups. So, for any young football coach or an aspiring football coach who is watching right now, what advice would you give him to start their career and, to, of course, reach the heights that you have and become the best that they possibly can be?
It would not be the best thing for me to give advice because I'm still learning and I still want to achieve a lot in my coaching career. I have not achieved much. It's just with the youth I've done, and of course I want to be with the senior team, and I one day I want to be there. But yes, I see many coaches. I used to take D license and all. So I always tell the coaches it's very important for you to have a coaching philosophy, you know, whether it is inspired by others or part of your own, you know. Why a coaching philosophy? Uh, Actually, a coaching philosophy represents your value in football. You know, like if I don't have a philosophy, I will take it from somewhere, or and then if you don't have your own way of doing things, you're not going to be successful in life in your coaching career. It's very important you have your own philosophy, and then it's very important you as a coach to design good sessions. It has to be interesting. It has to relate to what your philosophy is. Say I want to have ball position, and then you're going for long balls. That doesn't really relate to what you want to achieve as a coach. So stick to your philosophy and design your training session in such a way that you stick to your philosophy and do things. And then it's very important to accept mistakes, embrace mistakes. Because everybody does mistakes in life. When I'm taking coaching sessions, there are times when I do a lot of mistakes. There are mistakes, it will happen, no problem. But it's very important at that particular time because these days the players are very smart. They understand football, they understand what is happening. It never makes you a bad coach, or it never makes you down in front of the players when you accept that okay, somewhere I went wrong. Let's do it the other way. It's very important. And then again, it's very important that which I learned from Simon. Now it's very important you as a coach to involve everyone, from the players to the kit manager to my physios, everyone. It's very important because it's always a team which does everything, not only the coaching staff or the back staff. It's the media team, everyone involved. And always keep your communication positive. That's very important, that I always be positive about what I'm talking. And the players, when they are listening to you, they should also feel that no, I have to be positive, and this is what the coach is expecting from me.
Great. I think that's the best way we could have capped this session off. So thank you so much, Mr. Musa, for your time today. We have had a wonderful time talking to you, and I'm sure all the viewers who have been joining us for this session have also had a great time watching this video. I have had a blast talking to him, and I hope that you guys took a lot out of this session. You enjoyed the discussion that we had, and if you did, please do like and share this video, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel